Hello everybody, this is episode 7 of my playthrough of the Lies of P DLC Overture. In the last episode, we defeated the pre-metamorphic green monster. So baby green monster from the base game. We defeated is a loose term because it kind of scurries away at the end of the fight, but we fought it until it left. It was a fun fight. It was fun remembering the fight and a little throwback, and it was a little easier too, so it was like you were getting your vengeance. At least for me, that boss was very difficult in base game, so it felt much better to do it easier now. If you guys remember, we're exploring the mines, going all the way down. We had this shortcut here on the left side, and we were taking an elevator and sort of jumping midway in the elevator to get to this boss. Well, now to continue forward the story, we're gonna get all the way down in the elevator and fight the mini boss at the end of it. Mini boss in the previous episode, I already met once, and I was quickly dispatched by it, but I did not think it was overall too hard of a mini-boss. When I came back for my rematch, I was much better prepared, much better focused, I think is the right word for it. It has a long-winded arm attack that you can sort of predict. I buffed. I don't think fire is like the best buff because this is a machine, it should be electrical. But fire did good enough as a proc. If you parry a bit, you quickly get that visceral attack, and staying in the back after that is also good. I wanted to mention, if you are seeing that your visceral attacks are not doing a whole lot of damage, remember that in Lies of P, all of your damages are separated in the P organ, so the amount of damage that you do is determined by the things that you equip with your quartz in the P organ. Make sure to upgrade those as well. From the fight, you get a corroded cipher machine. We've seen these before. These are the ones that we take back to the tracker in Hotel Krat, and he will be able to decipher it, and we'll go to the puzzle, and then we'll get the story from there and then tell it back to him, and another truth of Krat will be revealed. After picking up the stuff in that arena, you can only move forward one way. You can't go back where you came from, so I couldn't take the cipher to the Stargazer, but luckily there is another one right ahead, and a familiar friend is here. I'm gonna take a look in the Stargazer real quick and put one more level up since she's talking about needing ergo. I wanted to use my ergo just in case that it was important for the quest. But then after that, I wanted to see what she was needing. For this quest with Rosara, I gave her my highest ergo that I had.
Oh, friend. So happy to see you again. I tried to go to the Rose Estate. The white butterfly was helping. But maybe it was too far. Heart slowing, stopping. Can you give ergo? Rosara needs ergo. Oh, I feel light as a feather. Like I could float to the world's end. Here, Rosara has a gift for you. It's another treasure I found on my trip.
So after giving Rosara my highest ergo that I had, you get a gesture for that, which is part of her quest. Another reason why her quest is important. We've already gotten things from her quest that were important for trophies, but the quest continues to be important. She also gives you a treasure, second piece of a drawing, and a secret gathering invitation for the ruins. Here it goes what it says. To the privileged few, a secret hidden deep within Crab will be revealed. This invitation is only for those at the pinnacle of Crab society. You are the chosen few, the blessed by money, power, and knowledge. And yet, there is a secret hidden in Crab to which even the likes of you have not been privy. All will be revealed to you select few at the devil's pit. The alchemists of the Isle have spent the past decades trying to uncover the secrets hidden within these ruins. At last we have discovered the great truth and wish to share our success with you. We invite you all to the excavation of a historical altar hidden within the ergo veins. The concepts of this invitation and meeting are highly confidential and intended for the invitee only, and the invitee is Carlo Geppetto. Carlo Geppetto is us, P, before he died. This doesn't say that Carlo ever went to the meeting, but there could be several reasons why he would be interested in going to this meeting. I think the fact the puppet has this invitation means that Carlo gave it to her at some point or showed it to her at some point, right? I also think that he would be curious because, his mother died in an area close to this or nearby this, and maybe while he was investigating, he would want to see. He would want to get close. I'm not too convinced that he went, but if he had, it would be for that reason, or maybe that is the trap that Marchiona and the other alchemists set for him. In the warning to Marchiona from Leia, it did seem to imply that Marchiona had something to do more directly with the death of Carlo. So I don't know if this is specifically related, but yeah, we have a symbol in the letter itself as well. It has to do with the upcoming boss, and it's kind of like the door on how you get into the upcoming boss, I think. I'm gonna play a closer look when I take a look at the boss again to see if there is any traces of Carlo in there or anything that could hint if Carlo went or didn't go to this invitation. If you look at the drawing though, it does look like a trident. I mentioned in the previous episode that I don't know, for some reason the weapon that we're using seems related to this upcoming boss, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the game. After reading this, we read as well the piece of a drawing is just a child drawing that looks very, very old, like last time. And now we have like the right side. There looks like there is like a dog or a lion, maybe even a cricket as well. And a man, Geppetto, possibly. I wonder if the lion becoming a cricket could be a Dorothy thing. Rosara wears red shoes, so could she be trapped in there? Oh, it's I actually don't know. Just paying attention to this drawing made me think about it. It's like a lion and a little bug at the bottom, and the lion is like pointing at the bug. Maybe once we see the full drawing in some other episode, I'll have a better idea of what it's going on with this hint, but it certainly gave me that vibe upon reflection right now. Maybe it's not even a bug, maybe it's like a background of a painting, but she's wearing red heels, and this is the past. Dorothy in the future, like at the end of the game, is still wearing red shoes. It could be that her ergo is trapped in this doll, and then in the future, she's on her own. She's like her own person, or she managed to escape somehow. She recovered her memories. It may be a stretch. There could be some relation as well to the Rose Red and Snow White fairy tale. It has nothing to do with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but she mentions following a white butterfly no matter what. So it could be related to that. She always calls us her friend, her good friend, her only friend, her whatever friend. And that is interesting to me. Our relation to Rosara should be revealed at some point, in my opinion. Well, now back to the regularly scheduled programming. We have a lot of yapping to do. We need to go to Hotel Krat and deliver our cipher back to the tracker so that he can decipher it. We can go and discover a new seeker of Krat and tell him about it so that it can become a new truth of Krat. Convoluted, but we'll get there. We give him the cipher.
Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me anytime. Let's check what's inside. I know this place. It's called the Spider Cave. I heard that something strange happened here. Have you heard the tale? A miner puppet was so mistreated that it learned resentment. The puppet murdered a human miner and fled. But some say you can still hear the sound of it digging for more victims. But from the look of this, it appears the alchemists may have been involved. If you discover the truth, please let me know.
We give him the cipher and we get back the decoded corroded cipher machine text. Target neutralized, no sign of life observed. Intermittent pickaxe ping can be heard. Repeating pattern suggests broken miner puppet. Members of the order will carry out remaining excavation task. The great discovery is near. Awaken above ascend. It's revealing a little bit that the miners had some doing in that old tale we got about Blockhead and his master getting trapped in the spider cave. We'll have to go back now to as close to the cave as we can and see who's inside, to see what's in there. But first, let's upgrade something in my P organ. And back we go to the spider cave. We'll take it from the ancient ruins excavation site. If you remember, there was a spot where we were hearing something in the cave, and I believe that's where we're headed right now. If we manage to traverse it. I was trying to think where would it be located to find this portion of the cave, but it is right down the shortcut and to the left. If you backtrack your pace, that's the fastest way to go. The part of the cave that was shiny before, you can hit it now. There is a robot inside, and immediately as you open it, he dies. Quite sad. His friend, who treated him so poorly anyway, already dead as well. Here it is, the Misfit's diary. Tiny words are written on dirt-smudged scrap of paper. I'm trapped, my legs are unresponsive, I have water and biscuits. Luckily, only a puppet fell with me. That extends my food supply. Those damned alchemists, they tricked me into falling down here. If I escape, I'll report them all. What was the deal with that strange door in the ruins, and why did the stupid puppet fall behind me? I ordered Rockhead to dig our way out. The constant pounding of the pickaxe is driving me insane. Why did this have to happen? The very day I bought my wife a gift. What awful luck. The dress got a bit torn, but it still looks good. I refuse to die after spending so much money. Somebody save me. I don't want to die. Why is no one? Don't let me die down here. Rockhead brought water. I feel better. I've accepted this hole will be my grave. I'm going to die here. To be honest, I was dead as soon as we fell. Without Rockhead, I'd be dead already. I lived a rotten life, but I'm glad for this chance to reflect my final hours. And yet, I truly wanted to see you again, my love. If we manage to escape, I'll give my loyal companion a name other than Rockhead. Rockbuster, Steel Pickaxe, and Super Miner all sound good. We'll get out somehow, and the three of us will live as a family. A bit of a redemption arc for the miner who was mean to Rockhead all the time. He gained some appreciation for him in his final moments, for the dedication of Rockhead to saving him. I think that's kind of bittersweet. Too little too late sort of moment. They also mentioned the door again, the door that was in the invitation, the door that is here, something that the alchemists were trying to protect so fiercely that they were willing to kill human workers to keep their secret. Why would they invite others to the area if it's something that they were protecting against? I think it kind of shows where their mind was at with the invitation, what they wanted to get out of it. I think maybe they only invited Carlo to trick him to see if he shared some of the powers that his mother shared, and he could be a vessel or a listener, touch greatness, link with greatness. I think it could be a possibility as well, that there were intentions behind inviting them but keeping others outside of here. Now that we have this note, we can go back to the tracker. Not Rockhead getting punched.
This whole guide my savior using a sight I know yours.
Just checking that my quest with the crushed puppet is still going well. And back we go to the Stargazer, up the shortcut, and back to Hotel Krat to talk to the tracker. Once the tracker has the truth of Krat, you have completed that portion of the quest. It's like 4 steps. You get the piece, you bring it back, you explore the truth, you bring it back with each quest. I think this area has had some of the more nebulous lore in the game so far for me.
Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me anytime. I can't say I'm surprised the alchemists caused the Spider Cave incident. I'd wager even they didn't expect the truth to be revealed by a puppet. Just how many years did that poor puppet stand alone, swinging its pickaxe in the dark? The thought of it truly makes my heart ache. I dare say that minor puppet showed more humanity than the alchemists. I pray the two friends found peace at last.
You get an ancient disc out of your trouble, and if you have already gotten the record that you needed from the ancient disc, then you do not need to save them anymore, and you can use them for anything at the store. Here I'm going real quick back to the Barren Swamp because I want to clear that little notification by teaching the Swamp Puppet this DLC gesture. But it was interesting to see a little bit more of the personality of the tracker, how he likes puppets, how he thinks that we're cool.
What have you come to tell me? The mimicry of a joyful heart. It's good to feel alive. Thanks.
What a adorable cutie pie little gesture that was, huh? I'm doing that in real life. Right over the microphone if you could see me. Okay, we continue on where we were. We'll have to do the whole shortcut and going down the steps again. No, we don't have to do the shortcut because we got a new Stargazer by Rosara. Right. But I teleported to the wrong one, so shortcut it is. Pardon my foolishness. If you're in this portion, you can just go to Rosara's Stargazer. This area has been one of the more interesting maps in the game. I don't super like it because that means that I have to suffer. But you can tell they've done an excellent job in interconnecting several areas. It reminds me a little bit of Demon Souls in a sense, but I think the map itself is more complex than the Demon Souls maps. Right around here I'm realizing that I was a little silly for for coming this way. I'm talking to Rosara again.
Brazora will follow the white butterfly. I don't know what is waiting for me there, but I do know what I want. I want you there with me, my forever friend.
But I don't have anything else to do with her. And you can see here's the way forward, or this way as well. You can just safely walk down. I wanted to touch the Stargazer so I wouldn't forget it again. We have a box right here that contains a little patience amulet for trouble. That's a good ring to upgrade. I believe I do end up equipping it since it is an upgrade from the one that I had already. And now we're in that sort of submarine area that we had seen earlier in previous episodes. This guy right here can be a little tricky. He is not hard. He hits hard, but he's not hard in his moveset. The problem is the arena is not quite sealed and you can absolutely fall in the water. Do not be pushed into the water like I was right there. Let me zoom you forward through a couple of attempts that I had trouble getting through this, and then we'll continue on from there. I switched my grindstone and I went again and I died again a total of 3 times before I got my revenge. Here's the winning attempt. He's kicking. I'm trying to play very defensive and have him go first, and then I go after him because it's a little scary otherwise. If you manage to do the string and he falls, that's kind of like a big hit. A lot of his health went out on that. Stay out of the red attack. Don't get pushed, that's the worst of it. And just try to get him again while he's still electrified. Being electrified makes him slower, so you might get a couple of sneaky ins in that you didn't get before. When you defeat him, you get a Legion caliber, and there is also a cluster grenade laying around the arena. The items in this game are magnificent. They're incredible. They're really good. I know I haven't used them, but there's absolutely great item runs to be had in here. If you turn around, you find a room with a brain in a vat, and this is the continuation of one of our quests. So let's talk to him.
Oh, delightful. My charming, handsome, generous friend, you found me. Ignore the puppet over there. It's my last one, so I'm keeping it handy in case I need it. Now, I don't know how long I've been in this stuffy old box. But I can tell you, it's too long. I can't even feel my arms or legs. Surely you see it in front of you? The box? Don't tell me it's a coffin. Please, get me out. A what? A brain? In a vat? That can't be me. I'm stuck in a small dark box. Ask anyone. My arms and legs have just gone numb, along with my ears, and it's pitch black in here, of course. But wait. That certainly would explain a few... No. That would explain everything. My arms and legs. They're not asleep. They're gone, aren't they? Brain in a jar. Look, enough with the jokes. Now, what does the box look like? Strong, black, made of steel? No, I don't believe me either. A brain is all that's left of me. Okay, time to face facts. Is my brain floating in a huge glass tank? And is this tank inside a cylindrical case of some kind? This machine? Are you joking? Of course I know this machine. I invented it. Here I am, the subject of my own experiment. It's all over. I'm doomed. Doomed, I say. And to think, every previous experiment was a failure, and I'm the first success. You have got to be kidding me. Give it to me straight. How bad is it? Really bad? Oh boy, yes, that's it for me. That's the life support equipment. It's full of ergo gas, and if that's just leaching away, when all the gas is gone, I'll have maybe a minute left. I invented this machine, so I know how it works. My days were already numbered. The machine can't sustain life forever, even when it's in perfect condition. But now, I'm far too smart to kid myself. It's hopeless for me. I'm a brain. A brain in a vat. Does that even count as being alive? I don't know anymore. I've reached a conclusion. I have a favor to ask. I want you to turn off the machine. My future is mine to decide. Thank you, my friend. And remember me. My name is Alexander. Alexander Goodman. The inventor and, I suppose, first successful test subject of the Mindkeeper machine. And you know, I wasn't lying. I really was handsome. This nightmare is finally coming to an end. Thank you, my generous friend. Thank you.
An interesting story from Alexander Goodman, the alchemist that invented the brain in the vat machine. You choose to help him and you get a record for that. Very important for our trophies. You get the nightmare record. Even if I lose myself in nightmares or discover my love was only a dream, I won't regret my choice to be human. What is human and what is love? Nightmare, singing the sad love of those who have escaped humanity. This whole quest reminds me like an homage to Mikola's Host of the Nightmare. The cage theme, the being lost in the nightmare part, remember me, the kind of feeling that you get from him, similar to the kind of feeling that I got from Mikolash in Bloodborne. I think that's interesting. I wonder if they did it with some sort of inspiration in mind. I also wonder how he ended up in the vat. If it was truly Simon who put him in there out of jealousy for him dating, going on a date with Sophia. I feel like it could be a reasonable explanation, but I don't think that we were given enough evidence on how he ended there. Unfortunately, his days are now over. I think I feel conflicted about this character because he did invent the machine and he was going to use it on other people probably. He mentions a previous experiment he tried to do something and it failed. I wonder who the experimented person was that he failed to do this on as well. Another interesting question. I don't think we're giving enough information to know the answer to it. After you choose to press the button and kill him, you feel warmth because it's, quite a human choice to listen to someone asking you to kill them. And it's probably the first, human, in a sense, unaltered human. Just human DNA that we have killed in the game at this point. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Oh, purposefully killed. I guess some other things that are spoilers and towards the end of the base game, it could be counted as killing a human as well. It's an interesting thing to think about. Or maybe when we kill some of the NPCs, we have killed the human. Although I always assume that they're infected with some petrification disease sort of thing. Continuing on from the vat, we can look at the room a little, get a vibe for where he was going. Yeah, in the right side of the room is the other vat where he might have done the original experiment. Seems like it's broken as well. Then there is a ladder that we're going up from. It's a very long ladder. But exploring around the ladder to the right side, you find two dark moonstones of the Covenant and then another ladder off the other end, which creates a path down to a treasure box that has the storyteller's amulet. We've gotten two recently. The patience one, like I said, is for stamina, and this one increases a fable charge amount when attacking. Can be a very good ring for certain builds. I have mentioned before that I only use my fable art when it's full, so it's a good reminder for me to see it. I also equipped right away the patience ring because it's an improvement on the one I have. But yeah, the fable art ring could be very, very useful for certain builds, especially if you're only spending one at a time. Some weapons, they're special. It just takes one to do, and it still does damage rather than having the full one like me. I think it would be very useful for those if you have the space to equip that ring. Now, back to where we fought the little guy, mini boss door guy. We can touch the ball, pull a lever, and that brings down the... And that brings down the submarine. But before I continue forward through the submarine, I wanted to go back to my stargazer and gaze at it. I wanted to switch my grindstone back to fire because I felt like it was more useful than just the electric that I was having on the puppet. I very rarely use electric, I think, on its own, other than like for a specific thing that I find. With the submarine down, I believe we've seen the submarine before, we find as well a black rabbit hole key. This is the final one, the final key, but we don't have the door where to put it just yet. So we'll have to keep exploring for the final door as well. You take an elevator up, take a look around, and I see in the distance that I have missed a little item, so of course I want it back. And I'm going right back. It's quite the silly move from me, because that item absolutely will not be worth it, and I know it. But I wanted to get it, an attribute resistance ampule. Now, I was testing if you could get outside of the elevator while the elevator was moving, and I had a very silly and unfortunate fall. As you can see, I'm sorry for the delay here. This could probably have been an email, right? I'm bringing back the elevator, and I promise you, this next time I'll do fine, and I'll just continue onwards to where I have to be. We're very close to the boss area as well, so it's not gonna be a very long episode, and for that I feel a little less bad to have wasted time over there, because that way we get to hang out a little longer, right? Here the path sort of divides in two. You have like this forward area with big statues and signs, and then we had another place with a little sort of shack wood waiting for us. I realized that's the main way to go, so I go back to see what the shack had. It's a dead end, but it's a long dead end, so it took me a moment. Going through the mine shaft, we find one of these old puppets. I hated these guys in the base game, and I'm ready to hate again in the DLC. If you keep your distance, you should be alright. I think they're not as tanky in the DLC as they were in the base game. Maybe because I have 2 games under my belt now, and they're finally stopped being annoying. So I'm fortunate that I managed to get it in my first try without completely overheating. At the dead end, you get a Workshop Union composite armor liner, which is a defensive item that you can equip to get less damage. You know that I have not done that in the whole DLC. You've seen it with your own eyes that I have not done that in the whole DLC, but I do think it's a good item that you should keep in mind. I think I equip it right at the very end of the game. Yeah. It's an interesting area with a lot of like ancient artifacts, ancient vibes. This was supposed to be what they discovered when they were mining for Gohir originally. That made them think, you know, there's outer gods, there's like previous civilizations, maybe even something very, very ancient for sure. Like visually it has like a Moai sort of ancient culture feeling to it.
Wanted this thing destroyed. And it happened quite recently from the look of things.
We notice the train and we approach it because Jiminy mentions that it has happened very recently, the destruction of it. When we pick things up, we have a routine tram operations report. Total tram uses last month, 32. Total tram freight transported last month, 4,550 kilograms. Since its discovery raised the alert level, tram usage has been steadily declining. It can be deemed practically unused. Only the technician responsible for maintaining the minor puppets and a small number of fixed security personnel continue to use it. Regarding the cases of some alchemists using the tram for private rendezvous, regulation is necessary. Obviously, if it was very recently, as the note says, there might have been a lie in what Lumacchio told us about Veronique being the one that broke it, because Veronique has been protecting her post for a while there. Could it have been Leia that broke the tram? Doesn't seem logical. She's not running away from anybody. So my suspicions go straight away to Lumacchio. Now his attitude and his demeanor to us seem a little less honest, right? Back from the tram, I see a little thing over here and I think, can you walk on that? And then I'm dead. It's probably the second stupidest death I have given you, both of them in these mines. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm not paying attention. Maybe I'm trying to stretch the episode to be longer. I swear I'm not. Let me accelerate you back to where I was. Here on the way back we see a note and
No, cool.
Jiminy comments on it.
Sure makes you wonder though, who created this and when?
Before, when we enter here, I was telling you that the visually the structure of these things reminds me of maybe the Moais. There is also like some uniform vibes to the etchings into it. Maybe that's where the inspiration for the area comes from. It's a sort of an empty area lead up to the boss. There is not much here to do, and someone has come very recently and deleted that tram that now is permanently gone. So now we cannot access the other side at all, ever again. But you know, we have other ways to go, not easier ways in whatsoever, but other ways nonetheless. There is a suspicious stargazer, and you should know where you are at once you're here, right? It's time to lock in. Listen, I don't have a lot to say about this boss. It took me a long time. There was another boss in the DLC, the final one, that took me a long time, but I considered that one to have been a long time because I was silly, not a long time because it was hard for me. This boss had a strong learning curve for me. I had a lot of moves, I had to parry quite a bit, I had to get good. It was a moment. Before we enter our suffering though, it would be nice if we went back and we listened to a little music for the soul. Here's the nightmare record that we obtained from the brain in the bat. At the end of that, you feel warmth, and if the nightmare wasn't enough, you're about to go live the nightmare with the boss. Like I was saying, this boss was hard for me. It had a strong learning curve. I recommend that you take a moment going in. You know, if you're super skilled, you don't need any recommendations, but going in, I recommend that you take a moment to see all the places that you can parry and the follow-ups that you can dodge. Some things are parryable, some things are better to dodge. Find the mix in between and get good at a portion of the fight so that you can start studying the next one. That as well. On the way in, you find a rule book for the ruins, deepest side 8th edition. So this is like a book of rules on how to behave around here, maybe? This rulebook was written to allow seamless research and to ensure the safety of Order members. All members of the Order are strongly recommended to abide by the rules stated herein. Any violation of these rules may result in disciplinary action as deemed necessary by the Council. Only those granted authority may access the ruin's deepest site. Leaking information regarding the excavation gathering is strictly prohibited. Those who violate this rule will be punished severely. Entering the altar with 3 or fewer Baptists is prohibited. Experiments on the subject must be undertaken under multiple supervisors. Entering the altar while in possession of high quantities of ergo is prohibited. Doing so might agitate the subject and lead to unstable events. Those who attempt to unseal the altar without authorization will be punished severely. Awaken, evolve, ascend. The door shall open to those who seek the truth. You know, it seems like we're gonna be screwed, especially given point 4 in the note. We have a ton of ergo. We're made of ergo. We are keeping alive by ergo. So this monster is about to agitate for real. In my opinion, the fight was similar in style, maybe to the 4th boss, the priest, in base game, or Manus, like a combination of the priest and Manus. Stall as much as you want before going in. You have a pool of memories right in front of it, one of the few in the game that have it, and the sign at the door. Let's watch it. I thought the cutscene was one of the coolest in the game. The vibes of the One Reborn as well for it. Looks like a hand holding a cocoon of sorts, right? With chains. Beautiful music though. Alright, going in on the first attempt, let's see how far I get. My parries were not on point. They were actually the opposite of on point. I managed to land that red attack parry. Something to be proud of. But then I got hit by the whole combo. I also managed to proc him with my with my spear. Not a bad attempt overall, I would say. I've done more than I expected to do. The 1, 2, 3 is getting me though fairly consistently, but I am parrying the red attack. It's a trade. I would say it's probably for the best to be able to parry the red attack. If you have to parry one, learn those, because those hit the hardest. This side wipe move really got me. If you notice, when you hit the horns or anywhere that he has that sort of glowing thing, it looks like it does more damage, doesn't it? After a certain amount of time, you get this cutscene, certain amount of damage, I guess, he phases out. I got twice by old dad. I landed my red parry, but it was really depressing to get got so quickly by it, right? Learning how to... Honestly, the very, very truth, learning how to survive that beam and learning how to survive that move that killed me was the hardest thing for me in the fight. For some reason, it wouldn't click. So, going in right away, I'm rocking with fire. And my objective is to land every parry I can, so that I have to heal as little as possible going into phase 2. If you see where I position myself for that attack, I was right between the two horns. That way I was attacking them both with a single swing. And that helps it proc with fire faster, that does a little more damage. It's getting that health down a lot faster. And landing those red parries in to not get my health deleted. For this attack, the slam and swish, I parry the slam and I dodge in the swish so that I can get a little sneaky attack at the end. I didn't do very good on the parrying on the 1, 2, 3 still. I would have liked to show you that I did learn how to do that parry, but somehow I didn't land it in my winning attempt. Trust me, in 5 hours I landed a parry to everything and I missed a parry of everything. I never got consistent enough to be showing off. I've had to heal a couple of times in phase 1. Not ideal, but he's also taking a little longer to phase out. Not bad either. 8 heals should be enough for phase 2. I've done better, but I can't complain. For the Ray, I learned that going in and getting really close to his face would almost always, allow me to get a sneaky hit, and he follows it up with a slam and switch, which I try to proc at. I try to save my special for that time. I parry, and I'm still trying to proc. Right away, he loses his arm thing, his arm horn, So that gives me a couple of extra attacks. His health has gone quickly down on that combo. You gotta be careful in phase 2 as the 1, 2, 3 becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after you parry 1, 2, 3, which I did parry right that time, if you looked, I just dodge inwards and miss the final 2 hits. If you parry this move, he really loses it. You have to be careful though, as his hand, as you can tell, falls on you. Sometimes I could tell where I was going with that, but some other times I failed it, like here. I got by the ray even though I was very much dodging it, and I ran away from the AoE. The AoE, you can roll it, but you cannot parry it. Don't try to parry it. It's not a good idea. I keep trying to go for that horn, feeling like if I get a grippy of that horn, I will win. But he starts doing this crap, and now it's the time to really dodge everywhere you can barely see. I try my best and I only got hit once, so I consider that a success. That was 4 rays. He's about to do another one. A little cheater, spammer, a biblical asshole. It looks like one too. I now did not land anything. You'll have to forgive me for that because I was just completely panicking at that point. He was giving me finally the visceral attack and I was very excited for it. Getting a couple of punches in, going into his mouth and just critting that. I wanted to have one final attack and not even let him get up. And that did it. You get the Anguished Guardian trophy for it. Very lucky on how that visceral positioned me. I was going to be greedy until the end and die if he got up. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Now that the god of this ruin is dead, we get a cutscene of the crumbling of this area. Beautiful fight, in my opinion. Very entertaining to learn. I did not mind a single bit the time I was here. Obviously I wanted to win, but I was exhilarated. I was enjoying the learning. I was enjoying the moves. I didn't feel raged like, oh, this is so unfair, whatever. Obviously when he spams the raise, it's like, oh my god, can you not? But the move itself is not anything, you know, millennia style. You'll see later on that there is more millennia things to complain about, maybe, in the game. So overall, I think he was my favorite boss in the DLC. I'm going back really quickly to Hotel Krat, and I want to trade my Ergo for the weapon of the boss. Do not forget about this, as it is part of the trophies in the DLC to have all weapons or Legion arms, things like that. And this is one of the weapons in the DLC. I have heard amazing things about the weapon that this boss gives. It's a gun and it's a sword as well, and it does critical. It looks really, really cool. It has full salvo and strength and bullet for 3 and 2 Fable slots. I think it's a cool weapon. I would totally give it a go if I play another playthrough. I really like my trident, don't get me wrong. Let's put some levels as well out of what we got from the boss. I'm nearing 60 on both vitality and technique. Yeah, hitting 60 with that. So I'm officially stacked up. And in the next episode, as always, we will continue exploring from the seal arm of God's altar forward, and we can see what the game has ahead in the future for us if we can reach Leia and what she's after, if we can help her in her quest. I hope you have enjoyed this episode today. I had a good time recording it for you. I I hope somebody sees this. Sometimes it's a little difficult to record things for YouTube and really know who you're talking to. But yeah, if you're trophy hunting this and this is keeping you good company, or just watching for entertainment, I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoy your day. I enjoy recording this, and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye, bye.